Joining us on the broadcast is senior journalist Sumanth C. Raman. First, I want to ask you for your initial reaction to the statement that was made by the Prime Minister just moments ago after he was formally appointed as the Prime Minister, and the interesting use of words that was...
First of all, the speech that he made earlier, I think was a wonderful speech. And I sincerely hope that all that was said in the speech is actually lived up to, especially the fact that the speech was very, very inclusive, and he made special emphasis on the inclusiveness of what he proposed to do. So I think that that is something which is really, really welcome. And it gives us a great deal of hope. So now let's see whether he actually goes ahead and walks the talk. Also, the other noteworthy feature is the fact that he also laid emphasis on the large amount of work that needs to be done, and and sort of there was also an admission that everything that he wanted to do has not been completed. So I think it was a wonderful speech, and I think that the whole nation is looking forward to sort of putting into action what he actually spoke.
Right. We also saw him talk about a number of other issues. For example, suggesting what his government's priorities will be, saying and talking about how the the huge mandate also means greater responsibility. What are your key takeaways in terms of the priorities that he suggested, indicated would be looked at over the next 100 days or so?
Look, I think that he is seriously keen about delivering on many of the promises of 2014. And I don't expect a great deal of new promises to be made going forward, at least not for the immediate future, until the actions which were promised in 2014 are actually delivered to the people. Some of them have, and many of them have not. So I think that he was cautious in the sense that he's not promising too many new things, but he is sort of giving an assurance that the promises that have been made will be fulfilled and that there's a lot of hard work ahead. So I like the fact that he actually didn't promise the moon on this occasion, and he just said that we would continue to work on the promises already made.
And also using the opportunity to reassure the people of the country that there is no way that any of those aspirations will not be worked towards, that the government will be working tirelessly in that direction. But we also saw a jibe in a way, targeting the opposition, saying that minorities have been living in fear because of vote bank politics. What do you think was the larger message that he was trying to send out?
I think that, that jibe was sort of to be expected. But certainly, if you note the tenor and tone of his election campaign speeches and this, obviously you don't expect them to be the same. But even then, there was a definite, sober tone and a softening of the of whatever he said. So I think to that extent, it is greatly welcome. And the fact that, the opposition has been playing vote bank politics has not ever been in doubt. So I think what he was stating was only a fact. But obviously the question also arises as to how over the next couple of years the start is going to be made on fulfilling a lot of the commitments and promises that have been made. Because these are daunting tasks, especially the unemployment issue and the agrarian crisis are not things which, one can solve so easily. So we can't have, and now expectations are raised sky high on what is actually going to be delivered. So we just have to wait and see how the government goes about delivering on its promises.
A record number of women will be entering the parliament this time around, and we heard what the Prime Minister had to say on that as well. In terms of the core of the NDA, he said it's energy and synergy. Never let arrogance creep in. Do not think anything. Even Modi made you win. People made you win. But he also said that I am my biggest challenger. So that's perhaps the first time we've heard those words coming in from him.
Yeah, in a way that is true, because, the size of the mandate is so big that there is no challenger. I mean, there is no rival. I remember a statement which Ms. Jayalalitha used to make on her election campaign, where she used to say, as far as the eye can see, there is no rival. So to a large extent, this mandate is in that direction where there is no rival. There is so constantly he has got to set his own standards and sort of try to live up to them, because there is nobody who is pushing him to perform. So to that extent, it is right. And as far as the women issue is concerned, a large extent was because of Naveen Patnaik and Mamata Banerjee nominating larger proportion percentage of women candidates, and certainly not the Congress or the BJP. But very importantly, the government should go ahead and now pass the women's reservation bill. It's been a long pending demand. In the last parliament, the Congress was willing to support it, but somehow it never happened. So now the commitment to women's empowerment will be seen if the government can, in the first session of parliament of the new Lok Sabha, go ahead and pass the women's reservation bill.
Absolutely. We're going to leave it there for the moment. Sumanth C, Raman, appreciate very much joining us on the broadcast. We have been telling our viewers of the key takeaways from that address that was made by the Prime Minister just moments after he was elected as the leader of the NDA. And now another speech that came in just a short while back from Narendra Modi after he was formally appointed as the country's Prime Minister. In that address, he's reassured the people that every cell of his body will be working towards the aspirations of the people and laying emphasis once again on Sabka Saath, Sabka